It's the 13th of December 2023. With just under 40 minutes to go in the last game of the UEFA Champions League group stages, Karim Adeyemi puts Borussia Dortmund in front against Paris Saint-Germain at the Signal Iduna Park. As it stands, PSG are going out. Enter Warren Zaire-Emery. The midfielder picks up the ball outside the box, takes a touch, and slots home to equalize. At 17 years and 280 days, he becomes the youngest Frenchman ever to score in the Champions League. PSG hold on for a point and scrape through Group F, this season's group of death, edging out AC Milan having beaten the Italian giants 3-0 at the Parc des Princes. Now, 4.5 months later, the stage is set yet again for Dortmund to host Kylian Mbappe and company. The stakes are much higher this time, with a place in the Champions League final up for grabs. Dortmund have surprised one and all by making it this far. They topped their group, which included PSG, AC Milan, and Newcastle United, before dispatching PSV Eindhoven in the last 16. In the quarterfinals, they looked to have run their course, as they trailed Atletico Madrid 2-0 with 10 minutes left to play in the first leg in the Spanish capital. Sebastian Aller pulled one back on the night, before an absolute thriller of a game in Germany a week later. Dortmund rode their luck at times, but won 4-2 on the night to seal a 5-4 aggregate victory over Diego Simeone's men. Now, they get ready to play in the Champions League semi-final for the first time since 2013, when they were eventual runners-up to Bayern Munich at Wembley, the venue for this year's final as well. This is the fifth time overall that they have made it to the final four of the European Cup, with their best result coming in 1997, when they were crowned champions. Edin Terzic's men have flattered to deceive for most of the season, as they lie in fifth place in the Bundesliga table with 3 games left to play. But their season does boast some significant highlights, with an away win over Bayern for the first time in 10 years to go with their first appearance in the CL semis in 11. They were also seconds away from becoming the first team to beat Bayer Leverkusen this season, less than a fortnight ago, before the usual Jabi Alonso black magic in the 7th minute of injury time. For their opponents, Paris Saint-Germain, things have definitely taken a turn for the better since the last time they were in Dortmund. Luis Enrique has more or less found his best combination, and his attacking principles have also begun to translate on the pitch. The Ligue 1 title was secured for the fourth consecutive year at the weekend, following Monaco's 3-2 defeat away at Lyon. The Champions League, however, is the one that they really want. Despite all the success domestically in the last decade, PSG are yet to replicate that dominance in Europe. This is the fourth time they have made the semi-finals, but are yet to win a two-legged tie at this stage. In the COVID hit 2019-20 season, they beat RB Leipzig 3-0 in a one-off game in the last four, before losing in the final to Bayern Munich. These two teams met in that season in the round of 16 stage, which was a two-legged affair. A brace from Erling Haaland in Germany gave Dortmund a 2-1 first leg lead, but PSG turned it around in the French capital, winning 2-0 on the night and 3-2 on aggregate. Enrique, a winner of this competition as manager of Barcelona in 2015, was brought in the summer to help them finally get over the line. This is also, in all likelihood, going to be Mbappe's last season with the club, and the Frenchman has definitely been playing his part in the club's attempts at reaching the Holy Grail. He is the top scorer in the competition this season with 8 goals so far, including 5 in the knockout rounds. After just about clawing their way through the group stages, PSG dispatched Spanish opposition in both the round of 16 and the quarterfinals, first beating Real Sociedad with minimum fuss before a thrilling tie against Barcelona. After losing the first leg 3-2 in Paris, PSG came roaring back in Spain, ultimately winning 4-1 on the night against the Catalan giants who played most of the game with 10 men. Let's now take a look at the team news and the possible lineups for both teams. Daniel Mahler and Sebastian Aller are doubts for Dortmund, while fullback Rami Benzabaini is definitely out. Terzic is expected to set up in his usual 4-2-3-1, in a lineup unchanged from the one that took to the field in the second leg against Atletico Madrid in the previous round. Mats Hummels is one of only two remaining members of the squad from Dortmund's last semi-final appearance in 2013 and will partner Nico Schlotterbeck at centre back. The other, Marco Reus, could play an important role coming off the bench. Chelsea loanee Ian Martson sat out the weekend's 4-1 thrashing at the hands of RB Leipzig with a slight injury, but is expected to be back for this one. Julian Rierson plays at right back, Marcel Zabitzer and Emre Can form the double pivot, and Julian Brandt will play as the number 10. Jadon Sancho, on loan from Manchester United, scored at the weekend and will start on the wing, with Karim Adeyemi on the other side. The club's top scorer this season, Niklas Füllkrug, is expected to lead the line and will offer a big threat with his aerial presence in the box. For PSG, Enrique goes with a very different lineup in Ligue 1, with Mbappe usually not playing from the start. In this one, however, he too is expected to go with an unchanged starting 11 from the one in the quarterfinal second leg against Barcelona. The two former Dortmund men, Ashraf Hakimi and Usman Dembele, will be a formidable force on the right flank, and the home side will have to keep their defensive discipline to keep them quiet. Mbappe will lead the line on paper, but he is usually most comfortable cutting in from the left, and we can expect him to drop into space to collect the ball and make a difference. Midfielders Fabian Ruiz and Vitinha are always lurking in and around the box and are goal threats, with both men also capable of shooting from distance. PSG's attacking setup usually resembles a 3-2-5 or a 4-2-4, and the personnel can switch around in several ways to make this happen. Enrique is also spoilt for choice when it comes to attacking options from the bench. With Nuno Mendes, Lucas Hernandez, and Marquinhos forming the back four with Hakimi, the lack of a towering presence in the PSG backline is very conspicuous. This is something that Dortmund, and Fulkrug in particular, will look to take advantage of. Both sides have a host of attacking talent on show, with neither team being particularly miserly from a defensive standpoint. With the away goals rule no longer in play, we could have an absolute goal fest coming our way in Germany. The famous yellow wall at the Westfalenstadion has played its part in Dortmund's journey so far and will look to create a raucously intimidating atmosphere for its French visitors tonight.